going to be a beginner's guide to the profession Bonewright up to level 50 to unlock the cape. Alright, so even though Bonewright is in episode 3, let's go to episode 2, the Hope Forest Central Portal Stone, because with Bonewright, Gather goes hand in hand. It starts with the Crooked Goat Horn, which we'll be going to in a second, the Ram's Horn, which is near the episode 3 entrance, and then the Bone Spike. We'll go to that in a little bit. So here to the northwest of the Portal Stone is where you get the 2 Goat Horn spots, both for resources. And here's the first one, then the north one is up here. You will need to come here to initially train Bonewright before you get to the next tier, obviously, but you won't be here for too long. Maybe like 150, 200 max. So for this next one, Ram's Horn, as you can see, I got attacked by a snake. I like to actually come through the north way up here, and you go around and you get to the Cyclops path. And this will be the next set of bones, the Ram's Horn, which will be in, again, quantities of 4 on these 2 spots. If you have not completed the Spider's Nest quest to get the storages, which you'll be needing for collecting the bones if you choose not to buy them, and I'll be showing you where to buy those in a second. If you have this unlocked, which actually you should if you have Bonewright, it's actually beneficial in beginning to run the Ram's Horn all the way through and just go straight to the bone storage. And I even just etched them as well, which I'll show you what etching is. And then just ran back and did loads of Ram's Horns for this. So the Bone Spike, you go up to here, which is the stump clearing, go east. You need 8 woodcutter to get past these brambles up here. If not, you just go around from the north side and come down here. But you probably should have 8 woodcutter. Now while you're doing this, there are shades here, and sometimes you have to use immunity to do that. But this is going to be a main area for you if you choose to gather the bones yourself. Please don't attack me, thank you. Here is where the bone spikes are, and again in quantities of 4. You also have the swatcher here, but this is where the storage rift marker is. Again, if you don't know what that is, it's a spider nest quest. You can store any resource you collect, like the bone spikes here. And, oh, I forgot to deposit that. But yeah, here's the other area of where the bone spikes are. Now, let's just run up on here to the north, where the femur shards are here. You need 30 gatherer for this, and they are again in stacks of 4 and 4. And actually also, while I'm here, I might as well mention these wolves also drop the femur shards. So if you want to do it combat as well, just to gather them, you don't want to do gather, or you want to do the other way around, you want to do gather to collect some of the bones. Or again, you can buy the bones from the person outside the bone place. Occasionally the shades in the area will drop the goat horn in quantities of 2, but this is not recommended getting the goat horns this way. The Wendigos just south of the portal stone drop bone spikes in quantities of 4. So this would actually be a kind of viable method to get the bone spikes. It's going to be higher XP. And the storage rift is literally just to the west here. So this would actually be something that I'd probably do eventually, but I didn't do this. Alright, so just to the north and west of the portal stone here in the 3rd episode, the bone vats is where you actually do Bonewright. But before we actually get in there, this is where you buy bones from this merchant here, Jangle's Bone Shop. And if you want to make the bone dice at level 40, you buy the yellowing sheep rib and do it on the knick-knack bench, which is in the shop right there, which is part of the quest, the Lost and Found. Thought I'd mention that as well. This is the item that you need to make the dice. I didn't actually know it first. It's the yellowing sheep rib. Basically, I remembered it at first where the gas leeches are. And here's where we start. So basically, the bruise vat is you etch the bones. You go through this process. You're going to start with goat horns. So let's take the goat horns and put those in, the ones that we got. And you can do it in quantities of 6. You turn the lever to etch the bones. Collect the etched bones to get Bonewright experience. And then you use the etched bones plus planks from either cutting wood or using carpentry or buying the planks straight out to craft the items, the armors and the weapon in this place here. In varying quantities of either 2 bone spikes and like 2 juniper staves, or sometimes it's 4 of one and 1 plank, 3. It just really depends on what you're making. Alright, so I'll give an example here. This is one that you're going to be doing. Bone spike 2, and you need 2 juniper staves. And this over here, you make it on the 2-handed range workbench, and you make a bow. Alright, so now I've made the bow, and I have it somewhere in here. Yeah, there it is. Now, eventually you're going to want to store all of your untuned items by calling the quarry master first. And you would store up to 16 untuned items, and then you keep crafting more untuned items in your inventory. And eventually, when you're done, you're going to teleport to Hopeport to sell your items to the quarry master in the first episode. So once you're actually crafting, that's how you get rid of the items that you craft. And that's the process you have to go through. I think you can craft about 25 to 30 items, store them in the quarry master, and then go before you have to actually go for a run, and then you come back here. The only 2 planks you're going to be needing are the coarse oak poles and the coarse juniper staves. And you should be etching bones basically to level 6, which you'll be making a basic cudgel with 3 crooked goat horns and 1 coarse oak pole, moving up to the basic club with when you get to ram horns and 1 coarse oak pole, and then you're going to start using the juniper staves to make a basic recurve bow at level 18, and also at level 28 you will be making a basic longbow with the 2 cracked femur shards and 2 coarse juniper staves. I didn't even end up making these because I made so many and I was training knowledge points into Bonewright. So if you're also doing Bonewright knowledge points, then you're probably only gonna need the bone spikes. Here are the locations for the passives. This is the first one you'll do, is the knickknacks workbench, where you also make the dice. The second passive activity is just south of the lodestone, or sorry, portal stone right here, southwest in the divination area. Divination is the passive. And coming up from the portal stone all the way up north through here, we're heading into the fossil room, which is the other passive activity that you can unlock. Alright, so we're in Timberwell Green now, just south and west of the portal stone, the main woodcutter and carpenter area in episode 2. And if you need to get planks, you can either straight up buy them from the guy in here to the left, you just trade him, or what I was doing while I was on the grind to get Spider Nest is I would go and buy these logs here. You can buy logs. You buy the logs that you need, which will be oak poles and juniper staves. So you need the juniper logs. Use them on the circular saw. For the juniper staves, they just become planks right away, basically, and then you just run the planks down to the normal plank spot, which is the timber bank over here. Almost like carpenter as part of the skill then, or at least a skill that's needed, and as well gather to actually gather the bones if you want to do that without buying anything. Alright, so that should be about it. We're in episode 1, running to the cloakroom cape shop, which is where you buy the all capes, I suppose, and also the Bonewright cape once you get to level 50. We're just running it in here. But hope you guys enjoyed that short little beginner's guide. So yeah, it's pretty simple. You just do the Spider's Nest quest if you want to get the storage rift, and then you can either gather the bones or buy some of the materials. I spent actually about 800 silver making 2,000 juniper staves, but I ended up using 1,000 of them, so it's going to cost about 500 silver maybe if you're actually making the planks yourself with the logs. But yeah, you just talk to this guy, and he sells the capes. And the Bonewright cape is 504 silver, as you can see right there. Very expensive. It's just a cosmetic. It doesn't offer any other stats. It's simply a cosmetic item. And again, I am wearing the Bonewright cape. And thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.